Good day and welcome to today's edition of Christians in Politics, reaching you from the Advent Cable Network Nigeria Television. I am Smart Simon. Last week we began a discussion on bleeding Nigeria, looking at the catastrophic nature of things, especially within security. We shall continue with the topic looking at the part 2, bleeding Nigeria. The rise in insecurity is getting worse by the day, and it seems the government are overwhelmed with the situation. State governors are taking various steps to make sure they curtail the rise of insecurity in their states. To discuss with us today is still the Venerable Joseph UNUAYAN, JP, Director, Civic and Political Affairs, Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, and the Chaplain to the National Assembly. And also Honorable Sir Dennis NNAMDI AGBO, former member representing UDENU IGBOEZE North Federal Constituency, Enugu State, in the Federal House of Representatives. You're welcome, sirs.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
So, viewers, before we continue, let's take a look at this video.
Whatever is our position, we have a chapter. We cannot keep quiet any longer. It has gotten to a point that we cannot sleep with our two eyes closed. We are not free. Our children are not free. The president must rise to the occasion. There is no nation that is so powerful that doesn't need support of other nations. Individuals cannot say you will leave the war without any other person with you. So we must rise. The situation is our security system has collapsed. It has failed. And because it has failed, we need to look for foreign support. It costs Nigeria nothing. Forget the ego, forget the superiority of Nigeria in African nation. Today, we are facing serious problems. If our nation is to survive this period, I'm not in doubt that the security architecture we have today cannot cope with what we are facing. Every part of this country is threatened. From the north to the south, nobody is safe. Nobody can travel 50 kilometers in our nation. I feel like shedding tears for a country that we grew up, where nobody harass you when you travel from Lagos to Maiduguri. I done it in times past. Today I cannot travel from here to Kaduna to Niger State where I was born. The president must know that this is a bad time for our nation. We must look for foreign support to save this nation. This is my position, Mr. President. We must rise to it. They are killing people in the east, in the west, in the south, in the north. We should shut down the National Assembly. Let's shut down. If we cannot save this country, we stay in our homes. Our country is bleeding. People are in poverty. There's no food. People are hungry. Insecurity is threatening us. We cannot pretend. It's better we are not here. That's the next thing that we hear. People are dying. Every day Nigerians are dying. We must rise to the occasion. And so me, Mr. President.
It is an unfortunate development that what is happening, if the federal government have taken proactive steps, today we will not be where we are. These cops you're seeing here, in the last 2 weeks, we are burying over 70 people just in Makurdi local government alone. This is not accepted. Go to Guma, the same killings are taking place. Go to Gwa West, the same killings are taking place. This is not right. The federal government have refused to take proactive steps to arrest this ugly situation that we're witnessing here today. You will recall that I alerted the entire nation when Fulanis in 14 countries met in Yola and declared that except we repeal the prohibition of open grazing law, Benue will not know peace. And on the ground, I did say that I was targeted for elimination, to be assassinated, and that was done on me. It's only God that saved me. And I did say they are going after my people. So federal government should arrest the leadership of Mayor Tia Lakata and Hore that hosted that meeting. Up to today, nothing has been done. This is really unfortunate. It means we don't have a government in place at the federal level. We don't have a government. This is very sad. Because if proactive steps were taken by arresting Mayor and leadership, this will not happen. For several years, we have been calling on federal government to take proactive steps to address this matter. They have refused to do. You can imagine. This is about an IDP camp. The adjoining villages here, with the real camp and the adjoining villages, are occupied by IDPs. And what else do you want them to do? You send these people away from their villages. They came here to take refuge. And today, they are being killed in this manner. Over 70 people have been killed in the last 2 weeks by these herdsmen. They no longer come with their cattle. They come because they are looking for livestock they have to kill. They have even sent messages that except livestock guard refuse to take their cattle so that they will come and graze on our farms. And this we say no, it will not be accepted. What kind of a thing is it? What kind of country we are in? Mr. President said the other day that the security men should shoot anyone with AK-47. And up to today, we have not heard where security men have shot them. The Minister of Defense came and reversed what Mr. President said, that they said they are arrested and prosecuted. Where are we going? How do you wake up every day and you see your people being killed? How can I be a happy man with this kind of a thing? How can I be a happy man? So please, Mr. President must do the needful. And I want to suggest that immediately let there be a security summit. I'm aware that in Niger, in Zamfara, all over the country, northeast, northwest, north central, southeast, south west, all the places, this kind of barbaric act is being taken by the same Fulanis. And people are afraid to say it. And they give them a name bandit. They are not bandits, they are Fulanis. These ones that came here, look at the person which they were seeing, and they were speaking that language.
Viewers, you're welcome back, and looking at the video is indeed a very pathetic one. Now we have in the studio Venerable Joseph, who is a cleric, and Honorable Dennis, a politician, and they will be sharing with us their perspective on the topic Bleeding Nigeria Part 2. Now let me start with the politician in our midst. Throughout last month, Nigeria was like a war zone, and citizens are already scared of what will become of them this month. What do you think we should be expecting regarding topic before us, Bleeding Nigeria?
Thank you. You talk of last month, but this trend has been on for quite a while now.
Yes.
It's just peaked when serving governors had to come out and cry out. It peaked when a serving governor of the ruling party, governor of Niger State, came out and cried out. It peaked when a serving senator of the ruling party came out and cried out. These are three prominent personalities we've watched on video. All Nigerians are saying the same thing. It has defiled, it's not anything political again. The country is in a very difficult situation. So many things have happened. Killings have taken place. Our economy is becoming destroyed. It is very sad. Very pathetic. The sad aspect of it is knowing that we are not short of solutions. We are not short of solutions, not at all. We know what to do. I listened to an American to Nigeria. He said Nigeria knows what to do. That's a strong message. Nigeria knows what to do, and it's true. We know what to do to end this. The sad commentary is that there seems to be very clear absence of political will to tackle the situation in Nigeria. Therefore, asking me, what do we expect going forward? It only depends on whether there will be a change in the attitude of people in government, holding the rank, whether they will develop that political will to call a spade and not an implement. Why do I say this? The person who is holding the powers today in Nigeria is a general in the army. He knows what to do. Once upon a time, a head of state of Nigeria told us, never banditry or any such activity by non-state actors lasts more than 6 months, then the hands of government is inside it. Of course, recently we have watched the drama between Reverend Father Mbaka and the federal government. When the back and forth thing continued, it came to the point where they accused him that he is only criticizing government because he came to ask for contract. And then he replied and said, I took people to government to tell them what will be the solution. So many people, if you watch all the televisions in Nigeria today, watch all the radio stations in Nigeria today, the topic is security. There are security experts. I'm not even one. I'm an accountant. I can only speak from the point of view of a Nigerian, somebody who is seeing and experiencing what is going on. I think none of us is a child. None of us is, we're all adults. The key issue is the political will. Because accusations have been raised from high places and it has not been denied. We see government, let me give you an example how easily it can be done. When people were alleged to be causing problems in the southeast, they were called the unknown gunmen. Yesterday, less than a week, we heard that the sponsor of the unknown gunmen has been arrested.
Exactly.
But we see people shoot a serving governor. And they are walking away. And they're telling you, we did it. Have they been arrested? Okay. So, it is not, talking about what we expect going forward. We only hope. A lot of people have said enough is enough. So let there be this political will to call a spade a spade. That a criminal in our midst should be arrested. It is not religion, it is not politics, it is not ethnicity, but it has serious ethnic coloration, as has been alleged by, it's not me. Let the president, let those in authority, let the armed forces arrest those who perpetrate evil in our society. Bring them to justice. Try them, sentence them, and punish them.
Okay.
That is what can change what is happening. Because I tell you, like I said, we are not solution. 2021, we still have herdsmen roaming the entire length and breadth of Nigeria. Why don't we have ranches? Why are these things not domesticated? Why was in the House of Representatives. I sponsored a motion, and I finished actually carrying out the first phase of that motion. That is the transformation of our animal husbandry system in Nigeria. Then I was thinking that let everybody bring up a solution. And that was my own legislative solution to what was going on. And I sponsored a motion. I asked for budgetary allocation for NAPRI, National Agricultural Animal Production Research Institute Zaria, for NRLS, for MVRI, and for other institutions that would transform our animal husbandry system. That was done. The House generously provided the budgetary support. The Senate concurred. And these monies were released by those who are responsible. And these people commenced the system of transforming our animal husbandry system. Now, this was what happened in Rwanda. I later on discovered that they simply transformed the animal husbandry system. Has that been continued now? Have we moved one step further in pursuing that line of action?
Okay, thank you so much. Now, let me come to the presidential spokesperson, Alhaji Garba. He said the cause of insecurity in Nigeria is caused by political leaders, and he stated this clearly on Thursday, 20th of April. The religious leaders are the cause of insecurity that is facing Nigeria currently. Do you agree with his take on this? Is it the religious leaders?
I agree with him to some extent. It's just that his observation is a sweeping generalization.
Okay.
If he's talking about religious leaders, he should mention them. Know the religious leaders that have thrown this confusion. Yusuf that was killed, founder of Boko Haram, was he not a religious leader? Even when I listen to Ahmed, what they call
Ahmed
Gumi this morning, I knew there was a mediate, fully defend the killers, defend the criminals, making a case for them. So, why would they change? If a religious leader is coming out to say that bandits are into banditry, they are into kidnapping, and they are into killing because herdsmen have not been treated fairly. I don't know who have treated farmers in my village fairly in this country. Is it telling every farmer now whose crop did not yield? There was a time I was farming in the village. Sometimes we struggle and struggle and we are not even able to buy fertilizer. And all the effort of the whole year is just zero. You just labor in vain. Did that carry harm? If a religious leader is coming to propagate that kind of theory, it means, yes, religious leaders are responsible for what is happening. And from the way he was talking, I could see a clear agenda. That we are just into rhetorics and there's an agenda that is being pushed by people concerned. So if that is what the man is referring to, fine. When Goodluck Jonathan, as a president, wanted to hit, when we are saying nip this thing on the board, when he wanted to hit hard on Boko Haram, the response came from Sokoto, from religious leaders that, oh, Jonathan just want to reduce the population of Northeast and people so because of election that is coming in 2015. And the poor man, a humble man who does not want to step on any person, he have to mellow down. Until they started accusing him now that, oh, you can't be president when flags are being erected all over. So,
and it has not
are
stopped.
those people not religious leaders? I was listening to somebody yesterday, And he said when this thing started, there were no information, news coming out that these AK-47 were being hidden in mosques. They were in the East. Did they not discover ammunition in religious houses? Was it in church? I thank God the person talking, who's the spokesperson, belongs to a religion. And if he's honest with himself, he should be categorical. So we have to call spade a spade, as the Honorable just said. Let's not call spade an implement. If you call it an implement, it can be cutlass, it can be any other thing. A spade should be called a spade if we want to get out of this quagmire we have found ourselves. How many Christian religious leaders have asked their people, carry arms and ammunition, go and kidnap people, go and slaughter people? Have you seen Christians slaughtering people? Have you seen anyone? Have a Christian, a pastor be arrested, apart from the impostors that call themselves pastors in all these ones that are not even pastors, they are native doctors parading themselves in the name of church? Apart from some of them who sometimes are alleged to be involved in ritual killing and all that, have you seen responsible pastor, a Catholic pastor, Anglican pastor, Methodist pastor? Have you seen any of them? They say they were involved in this kind of a thing, to go and kidnap people for ransom. If he's saying it's religious leaders and politicians, let him be specific, so that the problem can be solved. I thank God today, many Islamic leaders are beginning to come out to also condemn what is going to, because they have discovered that this thing, no one is safe. When this thing started in the Northeast, Boko Haram, they were targeting only churches, bombing churches, and go into the internet and see the comments that were being made by people of that very religion. They thought they were safe. They thought it was about how to exterminate the Christianity. Until the thing backfired, they now went berserk and started bombing both. They started by attacking some of the religious leaders whose stand was not very clear to them. They started targeting them for elimination. And that is how they were pursuing them to mosque, to strike them in mosque. That was where they started bombing both Muslims in the mosque. So we have to call spade a spade. This is not, we are past the state of talking about religion now, or talking about politics, or being partisan. Every one of us is in danger. I had just now the Greenfield students that the bandits are threatening to kill today.
The ultimatum expired today.
Ultimatum today. I learned that there's a child of, whether from an emir, from a royal family in the north, is among them. So we have to call spade a spade. Then talking about politicians is correct, because look at what happened in the Northeast. Who groomed Yusuf and people? Was it not governors? Who brought about Sharia in Zamfara? Was it not politicians? And before they knew it, they thought it was a good deed. They started spreading it. 12 states embraced it. Some of us were crying out that you can't have a parallel constitution. As far as I'm concerned, Sharia is a religious constitution governing a religious state. You brought it into a country like Nigeria that have a constitution that's running parallel to our constitution. Politicians encouraged it, and some of them were collecting money from Saudi Arabia and all other Islamic nations, Iran and all that, benefiting.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Now, let me quickly come to the Honorable. We are told that Boko Haram have taken over 50 communities and thereby hosting their flag, which signifies ownership of these communities. And as a matter of fact, we even watch a video how some of them were forcefully being converted into Islam, asking them to make some incantations, converting them into Islam. Now, what does it mean that just 2 kilometers, 2 hours away from FCT. This kind of thing is happening. Is our security agencies overwhelmed?
I maintain our security agencies are not overwhelmed. They know what to do. They can crush this thing. This is bizarre. This is bizarre, talking about a country like Nigeria. It's unthinkable. But it is happening. The reason is we are not ready to call a spade a spade. Talking about religious leaders who are sponsoring, if you know that a religious leader is sponsoring, the person becomes a criminal.
It's a criminal.
If a politician is sponsoring, the politician becomes a criminal. Why can't we treat criminals as criminals? Why does criminality have ethnic colorations?
Religious coloration.
Why is it that some people allege, like we heard the governor of Benue State say, he's a serving governor, he said, we are told not to carry arms. Vigilante arose. They were helping with containing the security situation in Nigeria. But they were told to surrender even their Mark IV. These their old den guns. Surrender them. But other people walk around with AK-47. They wreak havoc with them. And they walk away. They are not shot like criminals. How long have we heard about degrading Boko Haram? Degrading Boko Haram. And the security industry in Nigeria, or the insecurity industry in Nigeria, has become like a very veritable industry for making money. When people are appointed chief of this, chief of that, the people go to wild celebrations because monies will be released. Monies will be embezzled and nothing will happen. Because send somebody, if you send somebody to be a security chief and you mean well, the person has a target, the person has a mandate, the person has a charge. You fund him and he's supposed to bring results. If he doesn't bring results, there are 1,000 other Nigerians who can do the job. But how long did it take us in this country to change the service chiefs, who obviously were not performing? Now, they have been changed, other ones have climbed in, and nothing has changed. Yeah. Things have only gotten worse. You know why? Because when a mother goat is chewing cud, the younger one is watching. I can tell you, the National Assembly has been very generous with appropriating monies for our security. The powers that be, the ministries, the Accountant General's office, they have been generous in releasing money to these people.
It's just that some people are not willing to do the right thing.
Yeah, but the thing is this. The person who sent a security chief is not asking him for results. If you ask him for results, he will be compelled to use the monies given to him to achieve results in the field there and secure the lives and property of Nigeria.
So somebody is not doing his job
Can I just
very
say
well
something on political will that he keep emphasizing? Now, if the governor of Niger came out to cry out and say communities over 50 have been taken over, and that is very close to FCT, I'm watching to see what will be the reaction of government to that. If it's election, governorship election that was to happen in Niger State, how many policemen that would be deployed? How many civil defense that would be deployed? How many military people that would be deployed? How many DSS that would be deployed? But we are saying now that 50 communities have been taken over, and that is so close to FCT. I was expecting that by the following day,
something will have been done immediately.
Both police, soldiers, they will root them out.
Okay, sir. We're behind time. Now, recently, a report reaching us that Boko Haram is offering 20,000 naira each to individuals to recruit for recruitment. So people are willingly joining them, possibly because of poverty and all manner of challenge they are facing, which cannot be justified. What can you say on this?
If you see, that is what we have been talking about. If you make people not to have a sense of belonging, they can belong to any other place. Yes. Tell me, all those people that are collecting 20,000, will you give me 20,000 and accept to join the criminal gang?
Not at all.
Those people...
Can I put in this, please? We have unemployment in Nigeria.
In Nigeria. What are we doing about it?
We are not absorbing our teeming youths that are energetic people. We are not absorbing them. So they are fighting for themselves. Look, I left the National Assembly some years ago. I've gone into farming. We have to feed Nigeria. And farming, agriculture will absorb a whole lot of it. Why is it that we are paying? Because the government is bringing one form of program and the other to support agriculture. Okay? But let's be carried through. Because agriculture has the ability to absorb our use. And then take agriculture to the next level of processing our produce. And then create a clear program for employing our people. Do you know? Yesterday, somebody was driving a National Assembly vehicle in a go-slow, broad daylight. Another person came out, wound down from his own car and asked him to give him fuel money to fuel his car. He didn't have money. And he said, please, give me money now to fuel my car. That the car you're driving belongs to us. That we put you there. It is not a joke. It's something that happened yesterday evening. Now, it is coming to that point. Whoever is thinking that this is a child's play, something is in the offing.
Is dreaming.
It continued to the point that the young man parked his car and went and started hitting the glass of
the should roll down.
Held everybody in the traffic. I said, give me money. Give me money. Okay. Now, we need to absorb our youths. Youths are unemployed. And how many of Nigerians are now leaving the countries? How many of our doctors have we left? Have we lost? How many of our engineers have we lost to other nations? To UK, to Canada, to Saudi Arabia, to America, in search of greener pastures.
It's unending.
We are losing our trained skills. We are losing our youths. They are all leaving the country in hordes to go and search for greener pasture. Which greener pasture can somebody have if the right things are being done in Nigeria?
Governor Fayemi is saying, don't go. Instead, vote the government out. Any government that is not performing, vote them out.
Just to end my thought on the issue of the money the Boko Haram people are giving out to people and people are accepting. Are you not aware from the information we are getting from Nigeria that some community, there's a community they say they went and negotiated, paid 5 million to secure their own community. There's another community, they are asking for another money. They say some group of communities, whether about 5 communities gathered, I don't know whether it's 100 million or whatever, to go and pay to these people to say, leave us alone. Now, what do you think? To those communities, there's no government.
There is no
complete absence of government. And the insecurity situation has become a thriving industry. And how many people can earn 5 million naira from regular work? So many of these people are being sucked into criminality.
Now, and these people now have money to buy people, and they know that people are so poor. In fact, the time that I was touched first was when they arrested one Boko Haram person years ago, and he confessed that it was 5,000 that was given to him to go and kill, and he went to do so. And so when you look at that situation, you cannot blame the people collecting money, because they are talking about safety and talking about what to eat now.
Especially when criminality has no consequence. Because if you are offered money and you know that this money will cost you your life,
you won't take it.
You won't take it. But if it has become a situation whereby the only attack on criminality happens in the south, so those one, and let me tell you before we close that aspect, listen, we have solid minerals in Nigeria. It is being exploited free of charge in certain parts of this country, and these bandits come and just cordon off the place, and gold is being mined for free, no tax, no account, nothing. So what kind of industry can you have that is more? People come from outside the country, they fly in, land, pick these things and go. See, but we know that these things are happening.
Okay, all right, thank you so much. Now, Honorable, some northern elders and leaders are proposing Nigerians should accept the Ruga agenda, or there will not be peace in this country. You know, they have also said that to the governor of Benue. I don't know, I saw it in paper. I don't know whether it was just a propaganda or truly from president or presidency, that if you want peace in your state, give us land for Ruga.
Okay, see,
is this part of Islamic agenda?
When I have heard that, right now I'm in agriculture. I have a poultry farm. So the use to make feed, we blend our own feed, comes from the loads of grains, maize, soybean, and so they come from the north. I pay for it. The land I am farming on, I have like 12.5 hectares of land. I bought every bit of it. I fenced it round with my own money. That is how to do business. Any other type of agriculture is a business. Now, so if we are saying ranching, we are saying stop moving, domesticate your animals, create paddocks, move the animals from one paddock to the other, graze them. This is what happens in Saudi Arabia. This is what happens in Brazil, in Argentina, in UK, in Ireland.
Profitable. They yield more.
And they conserve their energy. You can produce milk. Saudi Arabia is in an arid region. They don't have grass. The grass they used to feed the animals comes from Brazil in ships. They pay for it. But they produce 5.8 million liters of milk every day.
Wow.
Now, they are the 8th in world export of milk, of fresh milk. They don't have grass. Why is it that we know these things? I don't believe they don't know. People don't know. We know that these things. Let us look at our neighbor, Rwanda. They've transformed their animal husbandry. Let us do the same. It is not by commandeering people's land. You can't do that. We will always go. And if somebody is saying we will not have peace, it's the person hiding his own head under the ground. We have seen that this thing is a conflagration. It will consume everybody.
It will consume
and
everybody.
We better do the right thing. We can live in peace. Let us not do some kind of occupation, you know, pursue that kind of agenda. It will be very, it will not work. It will not work, and nobody is going to be spared. So there can be peace, but let people do business, run their business as business. Everywhere you see an Igbo man, Igbo people are in every little space in Nigeria. They come there, they rent the house. They come there, they buy the land. They come there, they do the things according to the people, the culture and the tradition of the people who they are. In fact, at the end of the day, when the all is said and done, we have the Igbo man to thank for of this country. They are that demonstrate that we can exist any part of Nigeria. My NNAMDI said recently, he said the first mayor of Enugu was a man from Katsina State. The first mayor of Enugu City This is the Nigeria we want, not commandeering so-called Ruga. No.
Okay, thank you so much. Sir, are you in support of declaring state of emergency on security sector and also closing down National Assembly? You remember one of the videos we watched, Senator Adeyemi smart as said, let's shut down National Assembly if things cannot be done the way they is supposed to be done.
That would be a grievous mistake.
Thank you.
I'm not in support of declaring any state of emergency, because what you cannot do now, you cannot also do it under a state of emergency.
No.
If you declare state of emergency, are you going to import soldiers from abroad? If you declare state of, what difference is it going to make? Who is hampering
you happen to hear about the state of things because the National Assembly is sitting.
Yes.
If they stop sitting, how will you hear?
How will you hear?
You have representatives covering the whole Nigeria in that place, in the National Assembly. Who will then tell them what is happening in his remote area if you shut down the National Assembly? And if you state of emergency, you now confer powers. The power they have, they've not been able to use it well. Now you want to give more powers and emergency powers to a few individuals.
We are talking about devolution of power. You want to concentrate on the powers.
I don't know how much time you have in this program, because
we don't have time.
We need to devolve power. We know the solution to this thing. We need to devolve power to the confederating states. The states need to handle security. Security needs to leave their exist. It must leave their exist. Otherwise, if we are saying you don't trust what the governors, 36 governors and plus FCT person, is going to do with security and with security authority.
What is the central government doing with it?
Why do you trust only one individual holding that authority? Why? So we must devolve power. That is how, when a state now and allow the states to procure arms, arm their own people.
But I don't know whether you listen to Chief Osita Chidoka.
Yeah.
He said the problem of Nigeria is not devolution of power. That the powers are there. It's just that the governors are lazy.
No.
The president is lazy. They are not doing what they're supposed to do with the power.
No, if you say that the governors, this is a practical thing, please. If the governors are not lazy or are lazy, can they bring in a shipload of arms, AK-47, a shipload, to set up their security apparatus in
and see whether it will not work.
In Benue State? These people have been disarmed because one person has the authority to disarm them. It is illegal to hold arms in Nigeria. If the person who was knocking on somebody's door yesterday knows that the person could have an arm, he can't do that because he will pull out his own gun. So we must devolve power. It is not rhetoric. It is the reality.
Yes. Now, you so much. Please, well, people will not listen. If we declare state of emergency as they are suggesting, I think what is happening in the National Assembly, they are only expressing frustration. Where I blame them, they also lack the political will to do what
they didn't do the right thing.
They have the power to take certain decisions, and they are not ready to take it. That is why they are now trying to take decisions. They are shooting themselves on the leg. Say, shut the National Assembly, declare.
Even if they want to, that they will not allow them to shut.
Just find
and continue to see.
Yeah, we will find ourselves a complete military regime.
Okay, because actually the National Assembly is striking
the only thing that makes the difference between the military regime and democracy is the National Assembly. How can you shut it down?
Okay, so let me come to you, Honorable. What should governors, local government chairmen, and community leaders do to protect their territory?
What do you want them to do under this condition?
What they should do is that they will continue to try. I tell you, right now, I think they allow them to carry certain grades of arms. Okay? They will continue to secure themselves. Because let me tell you, before a stranger can come into a community, he doesn't know his left from his right.
Right.
Once you organize your security, it can go very, very far. I'm telling you, I know a lot of communities who have tried to organize themselves or organize security arrangements among themselves. It has been most effective. The only thing we are saying is that let them be given more leeway. Let them be able to carry more sophisticated arms.
And that can match the enemy.
That can match the enemy. Then this thing will vanish.
Okay. All right. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue with our discussion.
We need assistance.
Oh my God! Upon everywhere.
How can you say Christians should stay away from politics?
Leveling buildings, setting cars on fire, and shattering the glass in windows more than a mile away. Those homes, businesses were destroyed.
What is happening to this country? The Bible says the government of this world will be upon his shoulder. Jesus must rule and reign. If we are going to have peace, if we are going to have equity, justice, Jesus must be enthroned.
The first church to evacuate the dead and wounded from the scene. Another loud explosion was also reported in the central Nigerian town of Jos. The attack was hit during Christmas Mass on the outskirts of the capital Abuja. A witness counted at least 19 dead there.
Christians must participate in politics. How do you tell me not to show interest about how my life will be wrong?
To represent another king and another kingdom.
So da sun je bindigogi suna an fara harbe. So dia su uku ne a dakin sai dia ya tashi ya hawo shagun ya je ya fade kasa ya bude gate escape door ya kuma ya bi shi ya fita wannan kuma da ya tashi da rinci da barcin zai na ne zai bi ya fito karafta su so suka kama shi su harbe shi ba sai su suka yanka shi sun yanka shi.
Boko Haram week, the Islamist extremists have been terrorizing villages in UNUAYAN. There are reports of hundreds dead.
Christians got involved in politics.
Christians should go into politics. They should go and register, be members of political party, be card-carrying member of political party, seek for elective office, and don't forget, if you are going there, be determined to make a difference.
It is unfortunate today that far too many believers are expecting the solutions to our problems to land on Air Force One. And until the immune system of God, the church, is brought back up, the bacteria and viruses of destruction will continue to destabilize our country, ebb away our freedoms, and take away our liberty.
When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
Viewers, you're welcome back, and we still have in the studio the Venerable Joseph UNUAYAN and the Honorable Dennis AGBO. And we want to encourage you to please call in. We're interested in knowing the security situation in your areas. Now, let me come to you, Venerable Joseph. What is the faith of the youth in this country looking at these challenges that we are facing today?
The future is very bleak with the way we are going, but as a Christian, I'm optimistic. I believe that somehow God will intervene. And I just have to encourage the youth to have faith in God and begin to take steps that can make them survive in this kind of harsh environment. It's a very, very terrible situation we find ourselves in. No job out there. No, that's every youth should begin to think of how to survive legitimately and be prayerful, because you cannot sweep prayer and faith under the carpet in situations like this. So where people are being captured in schools and things like this, people are being prized like animals and people are being killed and nobody is doing something about it. It's very discouraging, and I begin to wonder how many times inside the house I ask my wife, is this the kind of a society we want to live these our children in? You know, the future is very bleak, but for Christians, there's always hope.
Okay.
God can intervene somehow.
All right. Thank you so much. There is always hope. Now, Honorable, what do you think are the impact, or if you like, the effect of insecurity on growth and development of our nation?
I'm a development economist.
Okay.
So I'm asking the right person.
This is my area. Now, let me tell you, on a serious, because you don't have time.
Yes.
You don't have time. We are bleeding, just like you said. We are losing manpower. There is hunger in the land. Farmers are driven out of the farms. There's unemployment. There's violence. There's insecurity. People cannot even move around. There's disinvestment from Nigeria.
Lack of trust.
You know what it means? How many multinational corporations have left this country? Do you know how many people they were employing? Do you know the death of our textile industry? Do you know how many doctors have been lost? Do you know how many farmers have been driven out of? Do you know how much food? Do you know the cost of food today? Why is it? The reason is obvious. The north, where food used to come from, farmers have been driven out of the farm because of insecurity. The implications of what is going on is you cannot even imagine it. Now, look at how frustrated our youth are. I know the country I lived in as a young man. And I wonder which country will these youth live in? And the parents are now thinking about alternatives in Canada, in US, in UK. I know how many people have pressured me that I need to get a property in the UK. I need to get a property in Canada. In the last 2 months, I know how many friends I know, medical doctors, engineers, who have relocated out of this country. People have sold their houses in this country, in Abuja here, in other places, and they've just relocated. Do you know that the property market in Abuja, now go and check it, it is at all-time low. Even if you have a property to sell now, you can't even find buyer. So, and that goes across, so the implication is very enormous. It breeds insecurity, it breeds unemployment, it breeds economic downturn, it brings food scarcity, high cost of food, high cost of living, low standard of living.
I hope someone is listening to
we
this.
Are on our candle is burning from two sides. We are at the short end. We are holding the short end of the stick.
Okay. Thank you so much. Now, Venerable, what should we do to prevent more attacks from these criminals as citizens?
Let the government wake up. Let the government know that this thing is going to consume the whole country from the way it is going. If they come to that reality, government will be able to muster the political will to do something.
Okay.
Though if we have, wait, when we are talking about agenda, if we have a religion, we don't have a country, what have we achieved? If one religion covers the whole country and at the end of the day, the place becomes ungovernable, what have we achieved? If we want to turn ourselves to places like Afghanistan, Iraq, and all these places, do you watch television and see what they have turned their city into?
Okay. Our time is up.
Is that what we want to turn ourselves into?
All right, thank you so much. Your last word to the viewers on the bleeding Nigeria. Sorry, we're out of time.
We don't
have faith in Nigeria. After this evil wind, brightness will still come. So lie low. Watch your movement. Watch your environment. Don't move when you don't have to. Don't travel when you don't have to. Stay at home. Watch your environment, because this thing will also come and pass. When it passes, be alive, because the good time will still come. The solution to this thing is very, very small. So the good time will come.
All right, thank you so much. We are grateful to Honorable Dennis AGBO for coming to share your thoughts on this very important issue that is troubling us as a country. And we are grateful to Venerable Joseph UNUAYAN.
No last word from me today.
We're out of time. I've taken your last word already. Viewers, that is it. Until we come your way again.